Hi everybody, let's draw a winter landscape. A landscape is exactly what it sounds like, a picture of the land. Landscapes may also include animals, people, or houses, but the main focus is always on the land itself. Let's get started. For this project, you will need a black marker, I'm using a Sharpie, as well as some paper and later on some coloring supplies. Since I'm using Sharpie, I'm making sure to place another piece of paper underneath my first. This protects the table. First, you need to turn your paper tall ways or vertical and find the middle. Then scooch your finger down just a little bit. This is where we'll make our first mark. A big curvy line going from one end of the paper to the other. I'm then going to draw another curvy line behind it. This will make my two hills of my landscape. As you can see here, it looks like one hill is behind the other. I'm drawing a landscape at night, so up in the top corner, I'm going to draw a moon. Maybe you'll want a full moon, or like me, you'll choose a crescent moon. It's your art, so the choice is yours. Now that I have my main shapes drawn, I'm going to fix up my lines just a little bit. Remember, in art, it's important to always go slowly and carefully, taking our time. Now, let's add some trees on our first hill. These first trees are at the front of my landscape. In art, we call this the foreground. Objects in the foreground are closest to us, so they're going to be the biggest size. I'm going to continue drawing my trees. I'm not adding any leaves. Instead, it's just the branches, because these are trees in wintertime. You might choose to make the lines of your tree trunk and branches a little bit thicker, just like I'm doing here. This makes it a bit easier to see. I'm also adding some smaller branches coming off of my large branches. This makes my tree look a little bit more realistic, or like something I'd truly see in nature. I think I am going to add 2 trees to my foreground. You might have room for more trees, or only just one. It's your artwork, and our art is always going to look a little bit different from one another. That's what makes it unique and special. If some of your branches cover over one another or overlap, that's okay. In fact, that often happens in real life. Now that I'm about done with my trees in the foreground or the front of my artwork, I need to think about adding trees to the background or the back of my artwork. Objects in the background are furthest away from us, so these trees are going to appear smaller than the ones in the foreground. I'm drawing these background trees exactly how I did my first trees. They're just a bit smaller, but still have a trunk with lots of branches coming off both sides. Remember, there's no leaves on these trees because trees will lose their leaves in winter. I decided to draw 3 trees in my background. You may choose to have more trees or less trees. The decision is up to you. All right, my picture's almost complete. I have my moon, as well as trees in the background and the foreground. Let's add one more thing. I'm going to make some footprints walking through the snow. They're going to go over the hill, going away from us. We'll remember from earlier that as objects get closer to the background or further away from us, they appear smaller. I did this with my trees, and now I'm doing the same thing with my footprints. I'm going to add some little footprints on the back hill as well, and these get really teeny because they're very, very far away from us. I hope I get to go hiking in the snow for real this winter time. Now it's time to add some color. I'm using the cold colors, which we'll remember from class are green, blue, and purple. I decided to use colored pencils, but you may choose marker or crayon. The choice is yours, whatever you have at home. Whatever you choose to color with, make sure that you're working slowly and carefully, always taking your time. My video is put in super speed mode, but rest assured, I really took my time on this part, making sure not to scribble and to color in nice and solid. I decided to make a pattern of the cold colors, going green, blue, purple. And we're done. I also chose to use a Q-tip and some white paint to add some snowflakes. You might do the same thing. Whatever you choose, I know your work will be beautiful, and I can't wait to see soon. Have fun! Bye!